All right. Well, the next show I have is ReLIFE.
ReLIFE.
Yeah. I meant to talk about this one in the last video, or the two videos ago for the first impressions, but yeah, day one of the series, of the season, the entire show, the entire season was released. So that weekend, I watched the whole thing. It was that good. Basically, ReLIFE is the story of a guy who gets a chance to kind of relive his high school years, and it's done because he can't hold down like a regular job, but he's actually good with people. So I can't remember why he always gets fired, but basically this company called ReLIFE comes to him and offers him a job for a year, where he takes these pills and it changes his appearance to where he's like a high schooler. And they're working. I'm not sure how involved they are with the school, but basically there's a bunch of ReLIFE employees who are also taking the pill, and they are in the same classes as their clients, and they're monitoring them and seeing like how well they adjust with the situation that they're in now that they're back in high school again, and making sure that they don't do anything illegal with underage kids and all that kind of stuff, and then make sure that they're actually like following the process that ReLIFE thinks that they should follow, because they scout these people. They go around and they're like, well, this guy can't hold down a job. This is the reason why. He actually has these skills, and we think that he'd be a perfect fit, because if we put him in this certain situation and set him up with certain other people who kind of complete his like his skills, then we feel like he can blossom into a better person because of the experiences that he's gone through for that year. So
can I just say that's a pretty awesome concept for a show. That's pretty smart.
So basically the whole show centers around getting people who are at least somewhat lacking in certain abilities or certain ways, and giving them a chance to have a year where they might potentially gain those skills that they are currently lacking?
Yes.
Interesting. I mean, the synopsis for it that I remember us talking about it, and I'm like, the synopsis for it did not portray anything like that. I was like, what is that? How? And it seemed like it was just going to be a bunch of just awkward moments.
Mm-hmm.
So
I watched this 3 months ago, so I can't remember if there are any like stereotypical high school anime type of situations that happen. There aren't really any ecchi moments in the show. It's more like these characters are out of school and either college or higher age, so you don't really see things that like it's one of the more mature high school kind of shows. There's certain characters who, well, of course, like any show, they reveal who they actually are later on, and a lot of the characters, I kind of wish that the show kept going so I can find out where everybody ends up, but they cut it off at a nice moment where they're like, this is how they are first experiencing the situation. These are the first kind of stumbles that they have, and now that everything's starting to work out, that's it. So you're like, oh, okay, it's heading in this direction.
That seems kind of just horrible. I mean,
it's not like after all that work.
They wind you up for it, and then they're like, okay, we're done. And you're like, wait.
They just want you to expect that season 2.
And it's not like a cliffhanger kind of thing. It's like you've been through probably 75% of the year, so you can see that. I don't know. It's half, I guess, half cliffhanger, but half you're like, okay, I feel like this is a good spot to leave it off, but I really want to know what happens to some of these characters because like they developed them pretty well. And I'm like, what's gonna happen with them and them? So,
how would you feel? How would you feel if at the beginning of the next season they all find out that they play the same video game and that 2 of them are married?
10 out of 10.
Totally
the best crossover ever.
Never saw it coming.
But yeah, I'm trying to say the main character he's pretty good because he's really good with people. So like bringing him to like putting him in that situation for the year where they're like he's good with talking to people and like getting to know people, but I can't remember why he can't keep a job, but they basically pair him with a bunch of people who aren't really easily like they don't really mesh with a lot of other people. So he's kind of like the glue that kind of gets a bunch of people to talk together and stuff like that. Then they also develop like the people who are monitoring them. So there's the one guy who actually offers him the job in the first place, and you kind of see him like his job is to monitor the guy and not really become like friends with him because he's like an observer and that's the test
could
subject.
Interfere with the project.
Yeah, but you see some parts where they kind of I guess get a day off and the like a couple of the monitors kind of like bend the rules a bit and they're like, yeah, we're all over 21, let's have like a party and drink and all that kind of stuff, even though they're actually supposed to be playing high school students. So
let's all go to karaoke.
Yeah, it's stuff like that where it's they're human. I'm like they're spending a year with these people, of course they're gonna become friends and everything, and like yeah, there's client and observer kind of things, but it's cool to see like how they become closer.
Yeah. So it's a pretty lighthearted show then. It's nothing serious. Well, I'm sure they have like their problems, but for the most part, it's lighthearted. It's not life and death or stuff like that.
And it's nowhere near life and death and everything. It's just it's like the high school drama. It's like there's there's another moment that I'm gonna add to the 12 moments in anime. There's one girl who she kind of keeps to herself and she kind of looks mean because she always has this like stern look on her face. And it's one of those characters that they always show where they can't really smile because they have like this really creepy smile. So there's this huge misunderstanding between 2 of the characters because every time she smiled at somebody else, she kind of thought she was giving her like a dirty look. So he's like, hey, why don't you like be friends with this one girl? And she's like, oh, okay. And then they pass each other and she's all like, and like, and the other girl's like, what did I hurt? What's her problem? So it was like going on for like I was wondering how long they were gonna take it because it was stretching on, like messing up so many situations, and I'm like, is somebody gonna fix this? And like I love how like this small little thing just started becoming this huge issue. And there's let's see, what else did I want to say? But yeah, and like there's a romance that starts to happen towards the end, and that's kind of the part that I kind of want to see. Like they don't really like you can see. I don't know, like the romance didn't really start, but I don't know. In my mind, like this guy character, this girl character, like getting closer and closer, and I'm like, eventually, I feel like something might happen. If they really knew like the truth about each other. Like if they really knew the truth about each other. And I'm like, somebody spill the beans, and like it ends. So this is a really good show. Like so good that it's 2 days after it was released, I watched the whole thing. So I would highly recommend ReLIFE. It's It's a pretty good show for like the 17 again and like rewinding your life to back when you were younger kind of show.
Yeah, it seems like we always ask each other that anyways. Like if you could go back in time, or what would you change in high school? You know, would you go back to college life? It seems like a really good story.
Yeah.
I want to do that.
That was also one of those animes that they definitely did not do. The synopsis did not do the actual anime justice.
Oh.
Which is good in a way because there's so much more to it, but bad.
Catches you off guard.
Like, bad is a. Like,
I mean, it catches you off guard, but there's a lot of people like myself included who read the synopsis and was like, I think I could pass on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I recommend that show. It's awesome. This type of show is kind of starting to become like a subgenre where you have somebody who at school they play like a regular person and everything, and then whenever they go home they like dive into like their otaku kind of stuff, and they don't really show that side of them to anybody else.
But it's so bad. I mean, it's interesting in the way they do it, but it's so bad because he recalls all the deaths he's been through.
Oh,
it's like, when you have to feel that pain and know what it's like while you're alive and you don't have to have that pain, it's like, oh, wow. I mean, there are times he emotionally breaks down, and I don't blame him.
Yeah.